Hello, it's me, it's Recky. Welcome back for another reaction with me, Recky. We got another one coming, and this playlist is Get Educated, and I think we need to get educated every day. This is basically a response. It was definitely suggested many times before. It's USS Ronald Reagan supercarrier. We did the Gerald F. Ford. I think it's F. Yeah, it's F. We did a reaction to that one. I was completely blown away about the size, but again, you can't really tell the size of it until you're next to it. But I am super eager to find out how this one differs, if there's any difference between the USS Ronald Reagan and the USS Gerald Ford. To my knowledge, I think Ronald Reagan is a bit newer, but I might mistake. I might be completely wrong here. I'm the Swede, you're the American. You're gonna correct me in the comment section, of course. I'm looking forward for this. Don't miss out on other videos when it comes to Get Educated playlist. I'll see if I can get up here somewhere so you can see what's going on. Use the comment section for any suggestion you might have. And let's thank all the supporters. You can see everyone going through here. Channel members and Patreons. Thank you so much for the support. We got a shout out to the Supreme Tier donators: David Bangtson, buddasquirrel, Deja, Victor, SouthernMom, Peggy, T-Mag, Walt, and William Sheehan. Thank you so much for the amazing support from all of you guys. If you want to join them, click join to become a member, or the Patreon link is in the comment section. Now, let's do this. It's from the channel Spark. It's gonna if it's a good documentary, definitely gonna hit that subscribe and like. Let's find out what this is.
They have assembled here from the four corners of the Earth. 55 warships.
Shit.
Among them, the newest and most sophisticated ever produced. The United States is here. Great Britain, India, Japan, Canada, France, Australia, Germany. 26 nations altogether. Each will introduce the latest naval technology in their arsenals.
Wow.
$22,000 men and women will be tested over the coming month across a vast expanse of ocean covering thousands of square miles.
Oh man, I love this.
The command center and flagship of the operation is the nuclear-powered supercarrier, a marvel of modern engineering.
I watch in awe. I'm gonna be complete. I watch in awe. It's supposed to be a reaction, but I can stop looking at it.
The operation is called Rim of the Pacific,
Oh,
the
wow.
world's largest and most complex naval exercise. It will be as close to actual warfare as is peacefully possible.
Spark, you're making this fantastic.
They began to appear nearly 5,000 years ago in the Mediterranean Sea. They were the largest and most glorious moving objects known to mankind. Powered by oars, their tactics were simple. They rammed and sank enemy ships. Soldiers on board carried only bows, arrows, and spears, yet great battles ensued.
Wow.
Raging for weeks, there was often the loss of hundreds of ships and thousands of men. For centuries to come, navies with the best trained crews, the bravest commanders, and the mightiest warships would rule the world.
Oh my God! I gotta say something. I gotta do this directly. Holy shit! That's a fantastic. He's going all the way back, and I'm getting goosebumps. Holy crap!
The modern supercarrier remains at sea for months at a time.
Look at that, it's like
home
ants.
For over 5,000 personnel. A virtual city at sea.
All right, Con, let's go 360, let's go 15 knots. That'll get us up to the box on time. So.
The captain is from an elite group that has over 25 years of naval aviation experience.
Territorial waters over there, right? We just gotta... Hey, so just let the helos know territorial waters are only 8 miles to the east. Yep. Thanks. Okay.
Come left, steer course 175I. Counting off to my rudder is left 2 degrees, coming in course 175.
92 fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters are readied for a month of intense flight ops as demanding as combat itself. Those wearing green shirts maintain airframes and engines. Red shirts are responsible for ammo and weapons.
The Navy as strength. You know, you think of Popeye and you think of a really strong, you know, U.S. sailor that you want to represent yourself as. And I think we all use him as a role model today.
Purple shirts, or grapes, fuel the aircraft.
Aircrew are now manning up for the Event 7, Case 3 launch, Case 3 recovery. The temperature is 68 degrees, the altimeter 2996, and the density altitude 940 feet.
On the FOD walk, crews are looking for anything that might get sucked into an engine as the aircraft take off.
We did this too. When I worked on a military airfield, we did the same.
Pilots have been killed by almost invisible nuts and bolts.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Nuclear-powered carriers have almost unlimited range, like sailing ships of the past.
Oh, wow.
2 centuries ago, sail-powered galleons with 100 guns emerged on the high seas to fight at battles like Trafalgar. The French and Spanish were the superior force. Led by Napoleon, they were thought to be invincible. But the British commander, Horatio Nelson, had innovative tactics and was more aggressive. Cannonballs fired at close range inflicted a terrible carnage. Nearly 8,000 sailors were killed on both sides. The French and Spanish lost 22 ships. The British lost none.
Oh, wow.
Nelson, though he was killed, became a legend along with his flagship victory. From the triumph at Trafalgar grew a worldwide British Empire that would last another century. Control of the high seas requires a mastery of the most advanced possible technology. Deep in the heart of the ship sit 2 uranium-powered nuclear reactors. Essentially miniature suns, these radioactive furnaces boil water to create high-pressure steam that spins giant turbines.
This is what we were talking about in the previous videos, the lack of information. I'm thinking this is going to be one of those videos that's going to be so much information, and I am going to love every freaking second of it.
Boil water to create high-pressure steam that spins giant turbines.
Wow.
The carrier's 8 electric generators could easily power a city of 100,000 people. Using massive reduction gearboxes, the turbines also turn 4 mammoth propeller shafts, that drive the ship at around 35 knots. Its top speed remains highly classified.
I get that. Looks
With regular
fast.
maintenance, they can run continuously without refueling for 20 years. Teamwork, collaboration, camaraderie, staying mentally and physically fit are all critical among the crew of a smooth-running ship. Every one of the 5,212 personnel is integral in the success of the operation. No tiny detail is left to chance.
Roger that. Second Control 211 needs to be spun off Cat 1.
Blue shirts position and secure the aircraft on the deck, making sure they are presented for launch in the right order.
I love this.
Training has been continuous since the very first carriers were launched more than a century ago. The battle group commander is responsible for the coordination of all 26 nations during the exercise.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we had ships from
Patience, communication, and diplomacy were not the hallmarks of legendary admirals, but in an increasingly complex and lethal world, they are critical.
And they want to help.
Okay, so we have a captain. You got to help me out with this one. This is going to be the longest video ever. The video here is going to be 41 minutes and 7 seconds, and I like to talk, but well, that's basically it. So you got to help me out. So she is the admiral. She is the boss of the entire ship. The captain is also the what do you call it? The boss, right?
And give their navies a chance to shine.
Team Ronald on track, sir. Previously reported contacts, now on our port bow drawing left. Recommend maintain, sir.
No, I think what I want to do is come a little bit more to starboard and start to emerge through the fog. Let's get through this. Come up at speed 20 knots.
So Japanese on the starboard, and then the Canadians are coming up. They're just behind us, right?
Yes, sir.
The carrier, as the flagship, is responsible for getting 55 vessels from all over the world organized and sailing together in reasonable order.
Distance 2,500 kilometers from my QDH. Distance 2,500. Sheehan, Tango Sierra, Ok, Firenze, ok, molto bene, grazie.
I'm getting so much goosebumps right now. It's getting ridiculous.
This kind of international cooperation was inconceivable even 100 years ago. By the beginning of the 20th century, the giant guns of dreadnoughts, or battleships, would dwarf the cannons of Trafalgar. As the First World War began, Britain had a significant edge over Germany in both ships and guns, and did not expect to be challenged. But in June of 1916, 250 British and German ships engaged off the coast of Jutland in the North Sea. It would come to be known as the greatest battleship duel of all time.
Wow, never knew this.
14 British and 11 German ships were sunk. 8,500 young men were killed.
Oh my Lord. Oh wow.
The age of the battleship had come to an end in less than 2 hours of fighting.
I've never been in awe
defense
like I am now.
Evolving at an accelerating pace, questioning the wisdom of expensive new procurement, challenging the status quo. The goal of RIMPAC is, in part, to test and integrate advances in weapons technology. It gives crews a chance to perfect their skills under battle-like conditions. The operation of an aircraft carrier is, in itself, nearly as dangerous as actual combat, and everyone on board is well aware of that. Modern fighter aircraft, like the F-18 Super Hornet, can lock on and intercept enemy aircraft long before visual contact. Yet they still carry machine guns that look like they might belong on a World War I biplane.
True. Effective, though.
Even in an age of advanced missiles, pilots must still prepare for the unlikely prospect of an old-fashioned dogfight. Launching a 37,000-pound F-18 Super Hornet off a carrier may look simple, but bad weather, enemy fire, and accidents all contribute to very real danger. After a century of trial and error, one launch system has proved robust and reliable. Below deck are tanks of high-pressure steam from the nuclear-powered boilers. They provide explosive expansion power to pistons sitting in 300-foot-long tubes.
I'm
Like
speechless.
shells waiting in the barrel of a gun.
This might be one of the best documentary I ever seen. So informative, so graphic. I am freaking loving it.
Once released, the power of the piston can launch an aircraft with the force of 4 Gs, catapulting the plane from 0 to 160 miles an hour in just 3 seconds.
What?
Every role on board is critical to the exquisite ballet of launch and recovery.
Oh my God, so what? I'm pretty sure that's the radar. Some kind of a UAV or something like that. You gotta correct me on that one. And if you're still around when we get we're like 16 minutes, and if you're still around here, says that, like, write that in the chat. I'm still here, Recky, because I want to know. This is a long video. How many are with me at this point?
As exciting as the steam-powered catapult launch is for the fighter pilot, a safe landing is even better.
Oh my God, I love this.
An aircraft's tailhook must snag one of 4 arresting cables. This braided wire weaves 900 feet through the carrier, down to an arrestor engine.
What?
As the momentum of the plane pulls on the cable, a huge piston forces hydraulic fluid in one tank against air in another, compressing the air up to 400 pounds per square inch, stopping the aircraft and pilot in just 2 seconds. The comforting embrace of the arresting cable is regarded as among the most euphoric experiences in all of aviation.
Japanese on the starboard, Normandy in front. That looks pretty good. All right, and the submarines. Who can find the submarines? Always the submarines.
The great strength of the submarine is its stealth, annoying to its friends, lethal to its enemies.
We still need one more submarine to find.
Yes, sir. I'm still waiting on the TA to call back.
All right, give me a
Also
count.
at RIMPAC is the new Virginia-class submarine. It is 377 feet long and 34 feet wide. Speed can exceed 25 knots and potentially over 30. On board, crew number 120 enlisted men and women and 14 officers.
Range 410 yards. Very well, sir.
The nuclear propulsion system produces 40,000 horsepower.
Holy
A
crap.
modern nuclear sub could stay underwater almost indefinitely, like an aircraft carrier limited only by its onboard supply of food.
That looks fantastic.
It makes its own fresh water for drinking and showers.
I understand what you're saying, but we cannot risk attacking a neutral country.
They're capable of launching Mark 48 torpedoes, tactical tomahawks, harpoon missiles, and the new advanced mobile mine. More than 1,000 feet of water provides a stealthy layer of protection for the submarine as it defends the carrier and other surface ships above. Like great weapons of the past, navies simply cannot afford to lose battles fought in earnest. Despite the horrendous losses suffered by the Germans and British at Jutland, battleships reappeared in the Second World War, much bigger and far more lethal. Enchanted with the powerful symbolism of big guns, Adolf Hitler invested heavily in battleships, including the Tirpitz and Bismarck. The German ships were superbly built and manned. They were thought to be invincible, like the Nazis themselves.
The infamous Bismarck. Wow.
The cruiser Norfolk sighted the Bismarck before her battle with the Hood. Followed the German ship like a bloodhound.
The Bismarck's rudder was damaged by light aircraft. The crippled ship was then pounded by 2,800 shells from British warships before being scuttled by the German crew. 2,100 German sailors died.
It's a lot of people.
As the age of the battleship was coming to a close, that of the aircraft carrier was just beginning. Each RIMPAC features emerging advanced technology, like the F-35, a fifth-generation strike fighter. Since World War II, increasingly powerful radar has been used to detect inbound enemy aircraft. With growing sophistication, modern radar has been used to lock onto enemy planes and shoot them down with guided missiles fired over the horizon beyond visual range. Much of the new fighter's advancements focus on hiding from radar with a technology called stealth. The F-35 has multiple layers of skin coating that absorb radar waves, preventing them from bouncing back to enemy radar screens. Engine intake and exhausts are specially designed to deflect and mask the jet's thermal signature, avoiding detection from heat-seeking missiles. It can carry more than 15,000 pounds of weapons externally, or more than 5,000 pounds internally, dramatically improving the F-35's stealth profile.
99, K3 launch. Departure reference radio 70.
The U.S. Marine variant, the F-35B, has more than 40,000 pounds of thrust, giving pilots more raw power
oh my God,
than
looks
any
fantastic.
other fighter engine in history.
Look at the guy standing just a couple of meters or feet, whatever you want to call it, away from that engine. Holy crap. I stood close to the Swedish yachts, and I'm telling you, that was loud as hell. And standing so close, man, they got to have the best earmuffs ever.
ER 77, under 3003. Airborne.
So overwhelming to watch.
The U.S. Navy's version is the F-35C. Designed for carrier operations, it has larger wings with tips that fold and tougher landing gear for catapult launches and carrier arrestments.
412 departure, radar contact.
The power behind this is just undescribable, to be honest.
Right ground, 97.3 airborne, checking in. Roger.
Okay, so I'm gonna end the part 1 here. Don't worry, part 2 is coming directly after. It's gonna take me a long while to get the rendition and the editing. It's gonna take me a real long time if I go 40 minutes. So just stay tuned for next one. It's coming right up now.